So we're going to read some comments we've received on YouTube videos, and we're going to respond to them. How do I put this? Okay, comment number 1 is from Aggressor01, commenting on practical forgiveness and the mind, history of mankind 111. Holy fuck, this answers so many questions I've had. So you can forgive yourself in your mind/consciousness, question mark. I didn't know that. I thought it was a thought of forgiveness. I didn't know it would work as actual forgiveness. This process seems so much more difficult than it is. So eventually you have to forgive yourself for everything that you have accepted and allowed as your conscious, subconscious, and unconscious mind. I don't understand really what this first part is.
Well,
So you can forgive yourself in your mind. I didn't know that. I thought it was a thought of forgiveness. I didn't know it would work as actual forgiveness. The process seems so much more difficult than it is. So is he saying it seemed more difficult when he was thinking forgiveness as a thought?
yeah, that's what it
Kind of
sounds
get
like.
that sense.
Yeah.
To me, it sounds like he's not doing just forgiveness in the thoughts, but actually letting it.
Yeah.
Letting
So
it forgive it.
yeah, basically what
Yeah.
we're getting from this is that this guy, that Aggressor, you are saying that before you saw this video, you were approaching self-forgiveness
As
from
thought.
as a thought, from a thinking perspective, and that through this video you've realized self-forgiveness is an actual process of stopping what you've accepted and allowed within your conscious, subconscious, and unconscious mind.
Yeah. And there are documents on the Destiny website, the God of Man documents, explaining how to start doing forgiveness on your conscious thoughts, which are the thoughts that you are aware of that come up in your mind. Then there's the conscious thoughts are fed by the subconscious thoughts. Those are the thoughts that you're not aware of. Those are the hidden type of thought constructs that come through, especially from your design from within your childhood. And those you find, you have like trigger subconscious thoughts that are linked to your conscious thoughts. And there is a document on the Destiny website, the God of Man documents, especially the documents done towards the end, that assist you in looking at a conscious thought and then finding within that what is the subconscious thought that is feeding that conscious thought, the thought that you actually think here and that you participate in consciously. And then going into the unconscious, well, the unconscious, how I work with it, for example, is looking at the world is the unconscious mind, for example, because the universal mind is our unconscious minds all linked, all creating this world together. So your unconscious mind is feeding your subconscious through your, for example, childhood experiences. That's how it creates you to participate in the worldly universal mind. And to do self-forgiveness on that, you can, for example, look at anything around us that we've created and do self-forgiveness on that. So like a lot of people ask us in the forum, oh, I've never raped somebody, so should I do self-forgiveness on rape? Yes, because how I understand it is that even through to a DNA level and from a universal mind and a worldly acceptance level, if we do self-forgiveness through to the unconscious mind, where I forgive myself as the rapist, as the abuser, as the person who is declaring war, I'm taking responsibility for all my thoughts that participate to manifesting all those bigger events, like for example inner conflict, your own sexual insecurity, stuff like that. But you're also doing self-forgiveness for what already exists, so that it does not control you and you start becoming aware of how those things manifest within yourself. So yes, self-forgiveness is very effective because not just from thinking about a perspective, but actually how we experience ourselves. We're able to forgive ourselves for every part of how we experience ourselves. So we do, when you apply it correctly, you eventually become the self-forgiveness.
Okay, this next comment is from Sweetings31, commenting on Vino on Matrix, number 5, The Secret of Mind Control. Sorry to sound naive, but it's a genuine question, not an attack or challenge, when the alarms go off on this girl, which they clearly must as a result of her being able to influence potential masses. Why has she not been disconnected?
Well, the whole disconnecting was a white light construct. If what you're referring to is that a being, as soon as they took on the system or they became too aware of the system and the system design, a being was disconnected, meaning a being was killed, if that's what you're referring to. Those were all designs within the white light construct. So when the white light construct as a program that was running everything was deleted, those programs that the white light masters had control over to be able to disconnect the being, meaning killing them, those programs were all deleted, and the masters themselves were placed within their own processes within the interdimensional existence.